Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Prague Metropolitans. In our previous episode, we again had quite the ignominious end to our playoff hopes as we were defeated by the London Fog. And I made a pretty drastic change at the end of the episode in case you missed it. Specifically, I increased the amount of seats in every stadium, basically. This shouldn't change the overall balance of the game, but it should help reduce the number of silly decisions. For example, I think I'm worth $10 million, but nobody can afford me at all, so I'm going to settle for like $500. It's never been quite that drastic, but it could be, and that's what I find uninteresting about the game. And so hopefully we get a little bit more leeway now. This should hopefully make it easier to retain the good players, be more competitive in terms of etc., etc. Now this will only recalculate like the beginning of the preseason, so that's something else to consider as well. Because right now the game just doesn't know how many seats I'm going to sell when the attendance actually hasn't been that great, because this thing used to be 4,800 seats, not 8,000 seats. So, let's talk about what we need to do to get back to the promised land and perhaps win our third world championship. It is third, right? I think we've already got two. Yeah, we have. Okay. It's been a while since we made it to the LCS, so hopefully we can have ourselves a fine season. How are we on coaches? We have one opening. We're going to be hiring a new hitting coach. That should be good. Loads of chemistry. This might change because everybody hates people that are controlling. I love it when someone is controlling and hates people that are controlling. Like, there's a bit of self-loathing in there, and I find that kind of entertaining. So, amigos, let us go ahead now. Just go ahead now. Let's talk about the team and what we can do to make it even teamier than before. So, what are we potentially going to lose? Here are the people that are up for new contracts. Plus, Poli ended up not working out. It all cost us a bit of money, and so I'm not that annoyed by it, but I kind of had wished we'd gotten, something similar to what Glasgow had gotten the year before, because we really do need a power threat. But, as it is. The very first thing we need to do is we need to figure out pancakes, and we need to figure them out now. He's very high in greed, which means a long-term contract is going to cost us a lot of money. I don't see how he isn't worth it, though. I'm going to at least kick the tires on a long-term extension if the owner will agree to it. I need to cut the contract for this season so it falls under his arbitration amount. It doesn't really do it. What if I offered him this? You know what? Fine. I don't care if you get an opt-out if we get relegated, because I don't think that's going to happen. And then, it's going to cost you a lot of money, but I find it very hard to believe that he won't be worth it. I find that very hard to believe. Yeah, I mean, it's going to cost me a lot of money, but it's hard to argue that he won't be worth it. So we're going to instantly offer this deal and hope he takes it. That had to happen. He's way too good not to. Bernard May. There are reasons to both like him and dislike him. But the amount he's actually asking for in a raise is actually... Here's my concern with Mr. Met. This is my big concern. Right there. He's already 34. And while he's not asking for a gigantic raise, this is a guy whose value comes from his ability to play really good defense and run the bases well. And, oh, by the way, he also hits enough triples and doubles to make the offensive package worth it. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with a center fielder like this. But I am hesitant to commit money to him in case he just shits the bed entirely. I also have Malherbe here, who is maybe not as good as May, but is at least comparable. Like, May is definitely a better center fielder. There's no disputing it. He's a better center fielder. He's got crazy range, which is great. And the thing here is, A, we're going to lose Malherbe if we don't instantly put him on the 40-man. And he's too good for that. So I think we're going to make the first of our hard choices this year. We're going to let May walk. I need him off the roster, basically. This is as much about the roster spot, because I don't want to lose some of these players, than it is about keeping him. So that's one easy decision. Boom, done. Next is Nicolas Blanc. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see a huge value for Blanc. Especially when I have Sonnenberg, who can basically be a better version of Blanc defensively. I think letting Blanc walk just makes a ton of sense to me. So we're going to let him take a long walk off a short pier. Eisner is really interesting. He is really interesting. He's a fantastic defensive second baseman. Point in his favor. He is magnificent at drawing walks. Point in his favor. 2033, point against him. My biggest concern with him, as a hitter with no power, is if his batting average fluctuates in the wrong direction, he becomes a far less valuable player. Defense only gets you so far, kids. And that gives me significant concerns. I mean, look at the difference in value between 260 and 230. Lose 30 points of batting average, essentially become useless. That's not great. Is it worth a substantial raise? So this kind of begs the question, do we think we have another Eisner in the system? We have Pablo Gonzalez, who is, quite frankly, a terrible second baseman. I'd really rather not play him there. We have Mladic, who at least gets the defensive part of it. I wouldn't hate having Mladic play second base for us for a season or two. I think that's reasonable. And while I care about his defense, I have Twelman in. We could call him back up. We have, what is this? It's Babansky. I don't know why he uses this weird lowercase, but yes. And him I'm not too sure about. I don't think he really offers too much. Oh, damn, look at Horst von Uwerkerk, rocketing up. He could very well be forcing an issue as soon as next season. Which is good, because it's been a while since we've had a great draft pick really work out. Besides Pancakes, obviously, who is the truth in every sense of the word. So, let's come back to Eisner. I want to say there's savings we found other places that would let us keep Eisner if we can. Huey Bird. Bird has had a long-ass winding road to get where he has been. This is a guy who just never had an opportunity. He was stuck in A-ball for so long, putting up fantastic numbers, and I just kept overlooking him in favor of other older catchers. Let us not lose sight of something very critical here. He made the jump from A to the majors, which is unheard of, frankly. Here's a downside of Mr. Bird. This has to be a mirage. But maybe it isn't. And that's kind of the issue we face at the moment. Everything about Huey Bird leads me to believe he will not turn in this offensive performance again. I just don't see it happening. He drew lots of walks, he hit for very high average, and he showed pretty good pop. Is he going to be a 3-win player again? That's another excellent question that I don't have the answer to right now. It's not like I'm waffling, it's because I am. Rincon saved our bullpen. If he wants a raise, he can have it. Boom, done. I'm not going to overthink that one at all. I think he is more than worthy to join us next. Really? Fine. Easy choice. Keeping Rincon. Yonku... $650,000 isn't unreasonable for what he contributes. But Dvorak was actually better and is cheaper. So let's start by signing him. Done. Yonku has been a big producer. I still don't know where his future actually is, but he's a good enough pitcher. He can handle either assignment. I think keeping him does make some sense. I have enough money available. I must have like 10,000 less than that. Fine. So we're down to 3 decisions, basically. Actually, I would be foolhardy not to just try to trade Bernard May to get ourselves a quality prospect, maybe. Even an interesting prospect, hell. Like, Rade Pantelich here seems like a perfectly fine choice. Boom, done. Okay, no one's going to offer much for Blanc, I don't think, but we can try it. I think just nobody's going to want him. Oh, I take that back. He's incredibly popular. No, you're way too limited. I don't think so, my friend. I like a guy like Jansen. He seems like he's got a good chance to at least be competent. But I like you better because you have the ability to play center. I think... I can't get both, can I? That'd be pretty dope if I could, but you're probably going to tell me no. We can try it, though. I don't want them both bad enough to give you anything meaningful, so I will scrap Mr. Jansen and just take Eugenia and be pretty pleased about that. Alright, those deals are done. Now let's talk about the 2 remaining. 3 remaining, sorry. Nikkanen. Nikkanen right now would rank as our... Where is he among our starters? He is dead last at the moment. with an important distinction. He has a fair bit of upside still, which a lot of my starters don't. He's a fairly good young pitcher. I don't know where his future is. I genuinely don't. I don't know whether he's going to be a starter or he's going to be a reliever. But I think he's good enough to at least earn a chance to be a starter. And so I think a 1-year salary bump is worth it for him. I think I will go ahead and sign him and let that happen. I'm not going to guarantee him starting rotation, though. That's going to depend on other free agent signings we might be able to make. That I will not guarantee him. Not on a Burton Eisner. So, do we think Uhrkirk is ready for the big leagues now? I think that would be organizational malpractice. Although he's had some incredible years in the minors, he hasn't even had a full season at A-ball yet. I think rushing him to the majors would be one of the biggest mistakes we could ever possibly make with his development. I think it would be bad, was what I'm trying to get at here. It's like, holy shit, Adric Gossiter's really good too. He's another guy who might be in line for a job offer here in the near future. This is probably our Eisner replacement, in all honesty. Although he could also be a shortstop. I think he can at least position well. I'm going to shortlist some of these guys so I stop forgetting about them. And then where's Mr. Uhrkirk? Shortlist. I am tempted to give Mr. Oitzer at least a chance in spring training. But for now, I think we get back with our eyes on the prize. Okay. Uhrkirk is way too green to get another chance. I think giving Huey Bird a 1-year extension is reasonable. And this is a perfectly cromulent way to spend our cash. So there we go. Do we gamble on Oitzer? Because Oitzer might someday develop power, but I don't think we gamble on him yet. I think it's perfectly reasonable to let him play in the minors 1 more year, which means keeping Eisner. Okay, that I am fine with. Gonzalez is going to slide right over and play first. That's probably the best solution for him anyway. He's not a second baseman, he's a first baseman. And we're losing Poli anyway, so that's fine. So 1 more year for Eisner, even if it is a pretty substantial bump, is probably worthwhile. Probably. Wow. Huh. I had not intended to commit long-term to Eisner. But he's asking for very little money, which is obviously massive, because Pancakes is getting paid. He's getting paid hard. One more team option, please. Interesting. The financials really work out here. If he sucks, his contract is extremely movable. If he doesn't suck, then it's actually a tremendous value, and it makes us a better team. And Oitzer can easily play shortstop just as well as he can play second. So I think we do it. This is not my intention at all, but I will if he wants a long-term deal for a fairly sizable discount, I'm going to give him that offer. So that's all the decisions have been made. Poli is getting nothing from me. Maybe like a gold watch or something. for his impending retirement. Eisner just won another Gold Glove, as did Saïd Julia, as did Blanc, as did Gunther. We're a very good defensive team. You know, I forgot about Saïd Julia because he was hurt. But Paulo Gonzalez could also be a DH too, so I'm not worried about that at all. Doesn't cause me a moment's worth of concern. A better offer, really? Oh, he wants to coach in the majors. I suppose that's reasonable. Remember, he's a really good coach too, so I'm not gonna argue with you. Yeah, let's... Because remember, you're going to be the coach for AAA. I want somebody who's actually better at development to get people to their potential, not to help them find new potential. That's much more useful to me. Well, Alfredo Renteria got reliever of the year. That's pretty wild, but also good. Okay, Leonard. No. Fuck off. Take my damn hitting coach job. I will pay you more money. I will give you 60 grand. Please. We got a platinum stick. Pancakes, obviously. Huey Bird. And that's it. Just 2. That's fine. Pancakes has a fair chance of getting MVP. Okay, maybe not with Josh Wanek in the same league, but... That's pretty crazy. And Cone... Pancakes and Eisner both took the contracts. I'm not surprised. Mr. Villa here won Manager of the Year. He did win 100 games, so I can't really complain about that. Really, fucker? I get it. You're being offered some cool gig, but I really want you to guide my young Lions into being the best hitters they can be. I do. I suppose I do at that. Alright, down to the minors with you both. I wonder how close Pancakes got to winning MVP, just out of curiosity. Second. Oh my god, that was close. Wow. Damn. That was... I'm trying to remember. I think it goes... Because I think it was 10 people on your ballot, which basically means... It turns to like 1 4th place vote. Oh, that's crazy. I genuinely think Wanek was a better player. When a guy gives you 8 wins out of center field, you give him the award. But that's incredibly good news for us. I love you, Pancakes. I'm glad you're going to be one of our dudes for a long time. I love it. Plus, I love your nickname. Even though I came up with it. Good. Getting Eisner was either a financially brilliant decision or it will doom us for years to come, and I'm not quite sure which. I just think it's too reasonable. It's too reasonable. If we take a look at our front office salaries going forward here, like... This is just a flat-out good deal. It just is. Julia, I'm less concerned. I'm less convinced is a good deal. Gunther, he is what he is at this point. Yeah. Alright. Malherbe, you get a 38-man roster spot. Dobre gets traded. I already have 2 excellent first base candidates. And I don't really see a ton of value in keeping him around as well. So we're going to try to trade him for a quality prospect. I mean, Mr. Zaremba here seems like a pretty good choice. I know he's far away from the big leagues, but anybody that gets this kind of strikeout rate with his decent movement and control has a really good chance to be successful. So I think we'll take it. Yeah, that was just... I had no use for him, so that's fine. I have... Oh, Zelensky is only... Schimpf is better than Zelensky. I'm going to go ahead and add him to the 38-man too. Like, there's a good chance I lose some of these guys in the Rule 5. If that's the case, that's the case. I'm going to go ahead and waive Provost and DeBrule. I'm going to try to trade Dwayne Watson. I think somebody's going to want him badly enough to not risk losing him in the Rule 5 that I can get an okay prospect for him. Brendan Taylor seems like a wonderful choice. Done. That seems really smart. Oh, then he has to go on. Well, shit. Yeah, Trevino can easily go elsewhere. I think he is of minimal value to me. He's too far from the big leagues given his age. I don't think he's a sensible player to keep around. I like... Ricardo Ramirez is kind of in the same boat. I want somebody a bit younger if I'm taking someone without a very high ceiling. I could just get Jesus Gonzalez, though, which seems like an amazing decision. Sure. Okay. I do kind of want to keep Brendan Taylor. I don't want to lose him in the Rule 5. So I will add him. And then I'm going to leave one spot on the roster open so I can potentially grab a Rule 5 pick. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually just going to get rid of Zelensky. Schimpf is just better and has more upside. So I think trading Zelensky does make some sense. Let's see if we can get a decent prospect for him. Nobody wants him. That's a bit more understandable. Yeah, there's just no value in giving him a roster spot. This way you can grab 2 Rule 5s potentially, which is pretty handy. Aguilar's a pretty good defensive center fielder, but I don't think he does it for me. You know what, actually? I'd rather have Aguilar than Rosito, so let's go ahead and designate you for assignment, and then add Aguilar. This at least gives me a good defensive center fielder, in case some of these other guys don't work out. I have too many first basemen, if I'm being real with you. I have too many first basemen. Oh well. Let us now advance to free agency signing. The Helsinki and Munich bounce down. Bucharest and Cardiff return. So it's a fascinating question. We have $4 million to spend this year, which is a lot of money. What do we actually need? That's what makes it so interesting. I think we're just going to get better by our youngsters improving and hoping for minor improvements from other people on the roster. I truly believe that. I think we're going to get a better performance out of some of these guys and be able to make some improvements there. I mean, we still need that power threat, I suppose. But I mean, the infield is fine. Sonnenberg doesn't fill me with joy, but he's fine. Our bullpen is really deep. And we've got a pretty good starting rotation. Like, there's not a ton of fat here to trim. Or even a player that I find would be particularly desirable. I'm gonna check, obviously. Like, I'm not just gonna assume there's nobody here that fills a need, but I'm not gonna get caught into spending a shit ton of money for very little benefit. Even 400 grand is too much for a player I don't have a position for, although that is tempting. I mean, we could get a mega elite reliever for like 500 grand. That's pretty solid. Okay, Legendre is too fucking good to not be offered a deal. He's too good a reliever. He's too good. I could make the same argument for Rurik here, but I like his durability. Oh, wait a minute. You could be a starter. I will offer you a deal as well. I'm not going to guarantee you closer because I can only have one of those, but you might end up being a starting pitcher. So let's give you that opportunity and then go from there. I will go for all three of you guys because that's just how I roll. Offer me Noah LeDuc for... I don't think so, guys. I don't really have a need for a starting pitcher like that, so I'm going to say not interested. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Ha 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 ha, whoops. Nope, it's not worth it. I don't want to give up. I'm not saying Martin necessarily has a clear place on this club, but come on, guys. Leonard Roman is fine, but hardly spectacular. Yeah, none of y'all do anything for me. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip the Rule 5 this year. Of all the players that could have been taken, Ellis Gillard is the only one who got taken. To be fair, I think he actually could be a fairly good player. He just didn't have an obvious role on my team. The fans love them some Rurik and some Legendre. Oh, you'll go to arbitration. What about Vilkowski is just gonna be a is just gonna be a reliever, so or is just gonna be free agent, so that's fine. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. The last thing I need is another first baseman. Don't be silly. I have like 3 first basemen, and I am happy with them, so please stop offering them to me. Nope. Mm-mm. No one's gonna get elected. And to be frank, I'm not sure that anybody deserves it. Like, none of these guys are all that special. Yes. This trade I happily make. Unless... or do I? I pretty badly need power in this lineup. And he definitely offers that. I wonder if he would take someone other than Beckeros. Perhaps. Somebody lesser. Rieseger is never going to amount to very much, in my opinion. The movement is too low, so you can have him instead. Done. This probably costs us a chance of signing one of the meaningful infielders, but I like the depth it gives us at outfielder. I'm also not convinced he's worse than Kiesling. So this is going to give us a pretty solid player to improve our offense. So here's the thing. This is very much a 2-player class. Wayuna and Chiranza. And I know which one of those 2 I would take, and it's Chiranza. He's a fantastic all-around starting pitcher who's big and should be throwing harder, who's also really smart. Like, it's no contest for me. If I had to pick between the 2 of them, I would take Chiranza. And in fact, that is what I intend to do. I don't have as much room, so if all he cares about is money, I'm not going to be able to compete with that. But I am going to give you the max cap to begin with and see if that convinces you to sign right away. Like, I'm not dicking around. This isn't a class that's particularly deep. And I will add a 6 in place of that 1, so you get every cent of my... Here you go. You're going to get every cent of my contract, of my cap, if you want it. Now, if you choose to sign somewhere else, I can't do anything about that. But I'm going to make... He is the best player in this international scouting class. And it doesn't strike me as particularly close. Given, yes, the Samoan guy could be a great player too. But he's also... No, stop offering first baseman. I'm not even going to listen to the offer. I don't care what it is. And we got Chironza. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I'm very happy about that. And hopefully he'll... Okay, he's goofy as fuck, but that's alright. If that's the worst thing we can say about him, then I'm pretty pleased. Look at that shit. Chironza's in our system for like 4 days. He's like, oh, I can throw harder. Watch. Amazing. I need to make sure to shortlist him because he could be... Oof. I could be like, Amakapane, who's that guy? What a loser. Let's do some spring training invites. Martine, Stewart, Hjorth, Taylor, Correa, Malherbe, Picard, Oitzer, Zaremba, Schimpf. I almost forgot about Schimpf. What happened to you? There you go. You. Would you quit, like, kicking him out? Yeah, we can have 12-minute up there as a treat. I think this is fine. It gives me 40 players for spring training. That seems sensible. That's not very legendre of you, Mr. Robert. Oh damn, Ivan Zalicki just crashed. That's unfortunate. And I have no money anymore either. I'm not going to be signing any draft picks again. Oh my god. Why do I keep doing this? Oh, shit. I'm going to sign everyone for underslot, basically, which is fine. It's fine. Craig just goes back to the minors. I'm not going to fuck around with putting him on the IL. Oh, wait a minute. Are you on the 40-man? You're on the 40-man, so actually putting you on the IL makes more sense, because then I free up the roster spot. Ooh, Matyagan added a new pitch, a circle changeup. Yonku just turned into something incredible. He just took a giant leap forward, which is fantastic news. Amakapane got better. Akelkin got better. Sean Stewart. Some good shit down here in the minors. You'd love to see it. How long are you out for, Malherbe? You're out for 4 weeks. Okay. Let's start cutting down to 25. So I presently have 17 pictures. I think 5 of them need to go. I like where your head is at, Mr. Matyagian, and I love that you added a third pitch. I'm gonna let you go back to the minors to make that one happen. Picard to the minors. Zaremba to the minors. Hjorth to the minors. How many do I have? I need to go to one more pitcher. I'm going to send down Kaitani because his control concerns me quite deeply. So we're going to send him to the minors, and this will be our opening day pitching staff. Which seems good. Now I gotta go to position players. I have 4 catchers. That seems excessive. I think Stewart is the first one down for sure. Akimoto is a really good defender. But Schimpf also has a little bit more pop. And is actually a better defender. So I think we'll keep him. And let Akimoto go back to the minors. 6 people gotta go. Goodbye. 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 Bad bye. No, Oitzer needs to go to double A. He's more than ready for that. I have way too many outfielders. This is a fact. Goodbye. Goodbye. So the question comes down to who is going to be our last outfielder. And I think it's very clear that Rufin still has a ton of growing to do, and I think he might benefit from some more time in AAA to try to really tap into all he can be. So I think that's what we're going to do. So Malherbe does make the roster. Which is good. We're king 6 outfielders and 5 infielders. Otto is actually starting at shortstop. It's probably Twelmanen based on what the game would say, and I'm fine with that because I do think having Sonnenberg available as a reserve is actually more valuable to me. So yeah, this seems good. This seems pretty solid. Julius just back to the outfield where he'll be a little bit more valuable, I think. Iber is going to be our DH, which I'm completely fine with. I think he's more than worthy of it. I do question the love for Olivier Rodriguez, but I'm not going to say it's completely pointless. I do wish I had a bit more power in the lineup, but that has been one of my chief concerns for like decades now. But the question is really, do you play Kiesling or do you play Rodriguez? And I do think that Kiesling might be a little better in the future, but he's also a terrible outfielder. So he's kind of a DH, basically. We've got okay power. We don't really have anybody that I think will consistently hit 30-plus homers, though. At least not yet. I know some players have some growing to do. If they do get into that rarefied air, then I think we'll be in even better shape. But regardless, let's play some baseball, guys. Amigos. I gotta be real with you. We've done a really good job of drafting to build this roster. Like, look how many of these guys are draft picks. And not just, like, secondary players, too. Like, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our 9 starting players were drafted by us. That's pretty wild. 7 of 9 is a really good ratio. And a tremendous actor. Shout out to Jerry Ryan there, I guess. But yeah, we've gotten incredible value out of the draft, and I really enjoy that a lot. It really makes me feel good to see we drafted so well for hitters. We have for pitchers too, but it's been a bit more uneven. Amakapane and Bonet were both draft picks. I mean, Dvorak looks like he could be a steal. Not as big as Ricky Rincon, though. An 11th round draft pick, having the kind of career he's already had, is just so far. It's completely insane. I mean, it's not like Mike Piazza got into the 63rd round, but as a favorite of Tommy Lasorda, no less, because he's like somehow related to Tommy Lasorda back when he was the manager of the Dodgers. I don't have a single person in the top 10. That seems dodgy. I think you're really missing the boat on Chironza. I really do. I think Chironza will end up being a top 10 pick by the end of the year. That's my bold prediction. He's going to make it to the top 10. I mean, Greshik could be something truly special, but he's also a long way away from the majors. Like, he's not even close. Easy, it's going to take him 3 years. Easy. He's got his turning potential into actual ability, and then he will be something to behold, I am sure. I mean, Julia getting hurt, it must be a new season. I've got so many good young outfielders that I have no problem putting him on the IL and calling up probably Lechkovsky. That seems good. Wait, how in the hell are you returning from a torn rotator cuff in like 6 weeks? Are you actually, like, a robot? Like, you tore your fucking rotator cuff. That's something you go, tee-hee-hee, let me just rub some dirt on it, and I'll be fine. Oh, it's a strained rotator cuff. Why in the fuck does it say torn here? No, it said strain. Apparently my brain read torn. Whoops. Yeah. That's way better. I was thinking towards the rotator cuff back in 6 weeks. What an absolute fucking unit. Okay. Gavin Miller and the injury list. Name a more iconic duo. Can have Zielecki back. To be honest with you, I don't know who we'd bench for him, so I'm actually going to let him go ahead and rehab in the minors. For now. Pancakes and low tack. That's it. That's the tweet. I will never call it anything other than Twitter. I'm sorry if it makes me a boomer or an old man, but it's fucking stupid. Especially because, like, I don't know how Microsoft hasn't sued him into the ground yet. But anyways. We're seeing some nice improvements, just not from, like, any really top-tier prospects. Which is fine. Not going to look at the hitting yet. Or not going to look at the stat yet. Okay, we can cite Julia back, which is amazing. Okay, Mr. Yonku. It's really disappointing that he's being injured, but it does help us that we have Zielecki already ready to make a bit of a comeback. Man, Yanku could be a truly special starting pitcher. I wonder if we can... I know he just got hurt, right? But maybe. What if I ask for your long-term contract demands? That is incredibly reasonable. I wonder if I can get a couple team options in there, though, just to feel better about myself. And then this first year has to go down a bit so that I can afford it. My projected payout receives my budget over 1.4 million. Oh yeah, no, you're just not gonna do it. Okay. Oh, I know what I could do. What if I just cut this down to his arbitration amount? I bet that's what he's looking for. That's what Onery McOwnerface is hoping. Oh, I really hate that they do this shit. I get it. But don't be weird, okay? Don't be deeply, deeply weird. And I want those 2 team option years, too. That's kind of a non-starter for me if I can't get out of this contract if it ends up being a bad one. I like this deal a lot, actually. I think he's got the talent to be a top-tier starting pitcher, and it also gets us more cost certainty. So I think this is very reasonable. And I realize the guy just strained a hamstring is going to be out for several weeks. But a hamstring injury for a pitcher, depending which leg it's on, isn't as likely to be a long-term injury. It's usually something they can recover from and still pitch quite effectively. Eisner, you dumb fucker. You didn't take out anybody good. Man, whatever, bro. What the fuck ever, bro. This is apparently the long-term contract episode. Sonnenberg is going to miss 4 weeks. That's unfortunate for him. I think Mladic is a perfectly valid fill-in while we wait for him to heal. Okay. Oitzer's getting better. Oitzer could very well be forcing the shortstop issue in the very near future if he just keeps working at it. Oh, that's a shame. Floor in here just dropped a fair bit. It is what it is. Okay. Alright, I'm getting a sense we're not... No, we're actually scoring lots of runs. Never mind. I thought we weren't scoring runs for some reason, but no, we definitely are. Like, literally the only person not hitting is Twelmanen. Actually, Malherbe is not hitting either. But he's kind of a weird dude, and I do think he'll get better. So we're playing Gunther in left field. I support this. I think he's a fine choice to play either the corner field and outfield positions. Pancakes remains fantastic. Look at Big Pobs here with his, you know what? No, it's official now. I'm calling him Big Pobs. Big Pobs. There you go. Brilliant. So Big Pobs here is doing a great job leading off. Malherbe shouldn't be batting second. I think this is a mistake. please make him bat 8th. And let's see how this changes the lineup. This seems far more palatable. This seems far more palatable in terms of offensive, getting the best hitters where they need to be. Rodriguez has had a tremendous season offensively. I don't know why he's only got half, like a quarter of a win above replacement, unless he's just that bad in the field. But I think he's more than worthy to carry the position he is carrying. Am I forcing Eisner to be batted 7th, or is that his choice? I'm going to remove this. I'm going to let you play Eisner wherever you damn well please. I think he's earned that much. Because of his redonkulous on-base percentage. I love it. I love it. This lineup is pretty great. I'm not going to lie here, guys. I'm not going to lie. Pitching staff looks really, really good. Renteria sucks the big one. Actually, our bullpen is actually struggling a bit. But not in a real way. Yeah, I'm not going to fuck with this. I think my little machinations just here are going to make the team better. And we'll see what happens as the season progresses. I'm not going to mess with this. Renteria being really bad is unfortunate, but he also has barely pitched, so... Ah. Big sneeze. Big sneeze. I'm not bringing Renteria back. Like, point blank, I see no value in keeping him around. This could get awkward, though. Who's actually leaving as a free agent? Some interesting players, but nobody that I think would, like, kill the team if they left. I don't think that's what anyone here is saying. I'm saying Boo Werns. Anyway. Let's get it, friends. Yonku is way too freaking good to keep in the minors. Is Rincon still pitching really well? He's pitching amazingly well. Zawacki, I think you go to the minors. And Yonku comes back and reclaims his spot at the top of the rotation. Or one of the tops of the rotation. Who did I trade for you again? I admittedly traded a pretty big package. I traded Quentin Brown for him. That, I think, is a pretty clear win. Alright, so please keep something in mind here. I can still sign players as long as they're at the slot or lower. So that's what we got to keep in mind here. So I can't ever go over slot, essentially. Oh, I have plenty of budget room. What the fuck was I thinking? No, you're terrible. Yeah, I don't think so. I think you're my first round pick. I think you're going to be a very good pitcher, and yes, I think you're a good choice for my opening pick. Melvin Shuffler is a pretty amazing pitcher, and I do think he has a lot of future to him, so I'm going to go ahead and draft him as well. All right, this is a very top heavy draft. It already looks like. So we're gonna compare these two here. Shalom is a really, really good hitter, but he's not a very good catcher. And again, first base and DH are both things. This is true. Blagojevich could stick at center, and that makes his skill set a little bit more appealing to me. I'm happily taking you now. I'd only very briefly considered... Yeah, that was in one of the easiest choices in the draft for me. Bobby Gutierrez could low-key be a starting pitcher with a little bit of quality development, so I think Mr. Gutierrez can join us here. And then I'm just going to let my scouting director draft everybody else. I'm pretty happy with this class. Will you let me go slightly over slot on this guy? You will. Okay, good. What about this guy? Yep. Okay. Serafino Solazzi. Man, guys, I don't think so. Oh, he's from the Vatican. Oh my god, he might be Pope someday. We have to sign him now. The actual Pope will, like, bless us and give us, like, 10 World Series in a row. We can't take that risk. Peterson's not a catcher. But his bat is still interesting enough that if we can work on the defense at all, that we'd have a potential there to have a really good one. I like Liu. He's nothing fantastic, but he is very solid. And very solid is an excellent value for the 9th round in the draft. Oh yeah, I guess I have to offer him something, don't I? I offer you a signed autographed picture of pancakes in front of a stack of pancakes. How can you say no? I actually like Landace a lot as a low-key signing. Chavot sucks. I'm not going to waste my money on him. Rothman most manifestly does not suck. He's a very, very big risk. Like, I don't think he'll develop particularly well, but if he does, then here we are. You suck. You're mediocre. I'm not going to sign any more players, I don't think. I think I'm happy with this. Wait, there's the hilarious value of signing the 25th pick in the draft just to see if he just loses his shit. So I think I'm going to do that just for funsies. But, yeah. Cool. Okay, Julia, you're getting on my fucking nerves. I don't know why you have to be injured all the time, but I wish you weren't. I'm going to go ahead and put you on the IL. And we're going to bring back Lechkovsky. For all the good contracts I'm happy that we've signed of late in this universe, the one for Julia is proving to be less than ideal. Losing Malherbe actually hurts a little bit more. But we can put him on the IL. And where is Aguilar? He is currently toiling away in AA. Capitan can't play center, or I'd strongly can any of you fuckers play center? Besides Gunther, you cannot. So I definitely need to call up someone who can play center without embarrassing himself. Rosito, come on down. Or the next contestant on the center fielder is right. Here's my problem with Sonnenberg is that he never hits even a little bit, and I think Mladic is more useful for that. So I think we actually consider getting rid of... he is an amazing defender, though. Yeah, I like having him in clutch situations. So sorry, Mladic. I did briefly consider keeping you. Briefly. There we go. Guys, if Twelman ever hit league average, he'd be like a motherfucking MVP candidate. That's all I've got to say. I did notice that. I'm not even saying I'm opposed to give you an extension, but you probably want a lot of money for that. You want very little money, but I still can't afford it. Not unless I can clear some salary. Clear some salary. I have regrets about Julia. I have big regrets about him. Would anybody take him, I wonder, if I just shopped him real quick? Wait, you're giving me a better player than Julia... and you're taking off this giant contract. This is admittedly a higher contract right now, which is absolutely the case. But he's also really freaking good, and I think he fits in really well with our club. So yes, I will make this trade. I know the fans love them some Saeed Julia. Holtgren is just better. He just makes us a better club. He's an on-base machine who's pretty good defensively. I love everything about him. He will be a free agent at the end of the year, understood. But he makes us better right now. And I think that's really awesome. Plus, this instantly clears out one of our biggest contracts and should give us more flexibility to keep people going forward. Plus, let's not lose sight of this. This is getting really obnoxious, that he was missing like 30 to 40 games a year. Now I should have some extension value, so actually we'll offer Mr. Vilkowski here a new contract if he wants it. What about 4 more years for 490 grand each? Who says no to that? Delightful. Perfect. Coolage is actually having a really down year this year, mostly because he's decided striking people out isn't cool anymore. I'm not going to keep Bear. If he walks, he walks. He's actually been really disappointing for us. Holtgren probably wants like 10 million a year. It's not worth it to me, I don't think. We can talk about it in the off season. I want to see how you match with the club as it is. But for right now, at least I'm not considering bringing you back. All right. Now we have some financial flexibility, which I think is lovely. It's a good thing. And the fans are super pumped about keeping Vilovsky. So that's awesome. Settle down, my dude. Settle the fuck down. Okay, we got a lot of coaching decisions to make. First things first, All the minor league coaches get new deals. I don't want to mess with this offseason unless they're like genuinely terrible. Murasan is fine for the rookie league. I'm fine to keep him around for a couple more years and see if you can figure it out. Same for you, my dude. Alright, so there's some big league coaches that need new deals. We are having some chemistry issues because we have too many people that are controlling. One of them is our hitting coach. I think we let him walk. And I think we promote either from within or we just sign ourselves a top-tier hitting coach off the free agent market. But I don't think we're bringing Nielsen back. Oh, I can't not bring him back. He's not the guy. Roy Stegar is actually pretty good. I think letting him have a new contract is pretty sensible. I think that makes a lot of sense. I love my scouting director, and I really like my team trainer. I'm going to keep both of them without hesitating for a split second. I think they're both have been key to our success thus far. Disley's our pitching coach. He's a really interesting guy. I don't think he's actually well cast to be a pitching coach. But until I can promote him either to manager or to bench coach, and I think Steger is actually... I wish I had not extended Steger now. I actually should have extended Amore and made him the bench coach. I would extend him anyway, though. I know he's not an amazing coach as a pitching coach, but he's a really good coach, period. And he's going to have a big role in this team sooner or later. Nielsen is the one I think I'm most likely to fire. He's an okay teacher, but I really don't like the fact that he's one of the players that one of the coaches who are all having an issue getting along with. But we can worry about that later. Nikinen just got a whole lot better. Very exciting news. I love seeing players make giant leaps forward. It makes me happy. Overkirk needs to be challenged. Come on, guys. Get him at least into A-ball at this point. Really? Muldoon Campbell at 22. Oh, no, he's the best hitter. Sorry. Here we go. Grishik made it up to 8. So now I have a top 10 prospect. That's fantastic news. I wonder how... Nope, Chironza is not moving. That's fine. Underestimate immature peril. Opposing general managers. At your peril. Oh, we get Malherbe back, which is actually very good news because Rosito is nothing special. There we go. Another shutout for Yonku. Very nice. Very, very nice. Pancakes Becker casually hits almost 400. What a guy. What a guy. So we have Amakapane, Legendary, Vilowski, Pablo Gonzalez, Pancakes, Rodriguez, and Gunther. Look, it's old friend Ivan Lenglet, who's actually having a really good career with Bucharest. Good for him, man. And Huey Bird. I almost missed him. Remember I said there's no way he'd ever hit this well again? I didn't think that would mean he would hit better. What a monster. In the best possible sense. I love it. Quite a few good prospects, too. Very nice. Very, very nice. I think Pancakes is like Michael Jordan, that one meme, and he's like, I took it personally that he didn't get the MVP last year, and he's like insisting on getting it this year. Which I am all for. Eh. I could see trading for like a top tier center fielder would be very helpful. I'm just not convinced that you're offering me a top tier center fielder. No, I am not giving you Kamo Nikkanen. Don't be stupid. Cease thy stupidity. In the immortal words of Moon Girl from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, I don't have time for this foolishness. Wait, what? Why is a picture of your talents on the trading block? That's wild. I'm looking specifically for center fielders because I think that's the one thing we could most use. Really? I cannot afford you at all, but you would... Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Well, fuck you then. I was actually fully prepared to offer like a pretty substantial sum to bring him onto the club. But no, he's just being a big fat jerk, so fuck him then. Fuck him in particular. I mean, Copperloo would be an interesting pickup. He can sort of handle center field. But you're asking for fairly good prospects, and I do find that somewhat sussy. Who am I prepared to give up as a prospect to gain a player of this home runitude? Picard's not actually far from being Major League ready. What do we start with? Joel Martin. What do we start with that? And now you're asking for less high-tier prospects. I think I can happily part with Card to add Copperloo. Complete trade. We're gonna send down Kiesling, I think, to add in this unit of a gentleman. Copperloo. I'm not paying that much money, but that's cool. I mean, it is a rental. So giving up two fairly good players for a rental does seem somewhat counterintuitive, but I think it'll be worth it if it can bring us closer to a championship. Alright. I'm willing to let Mal Herbie be the center fielder for the rest of the season. I think that's fine. And I think I'm done with the deadline day. I think I got what I wanted. I got me a big time thumper to do some thumping for us, which is amazing. This basically means Rodriguez gets benched, and I'm fine with that. He's been a tremendous player, but I do think we're a better team with a guy like Copperloo and the elite power he offers. So yes, I am pleased to let that keep being a thing. How's the team doing? Eisner has cooled off pretty drastically. I think that's fair, but it's also basically given me what I thought we would get from him. I wish it was a little bit better at hitting, but this is who he is at this point. He's right around league average with very good defense, and that's very valuable to me. That's extremely valuable and a good thing to have. I love you, Pancakes. You are the single greatest human being in the history of human beings. That's all I can say about you. I like how he's like, oh, you fuckers are gonna dime me the MVP, right? Let me just play even better. I think if he doesn't get an MVP, he might burn down an orphanage. I'm just saying. You orphans might have it coming. I'm just saying. Let's go to September. Oh no, anyway. Okay. This is getting to be a serious issue. I need a long-term center fielder. Do we give Muldoon a chance? No, because he's not a center fielder. He is most definitely not a center fielder. I think Sarhoutsis is probably the best choice. So let's promote him and give him an opportunity. Aguilar is by far the better center fielder, though, so I think we do go with Aguilar. I think that's the right call. I feel good about that. Okay, Oitzer is forcing the issue. He's basically Eisner, isn't he? What happened to you? You had like a lot more offensive upside, I thought. Maybe not. I mean, he should be a fairly good player. I'm not complaining about him in the least. But we'd have to find a position for him. Maybe that shortstop? Maybe we take a less transcendent defender to have somebody who can hit more. 20 runs in one game. Jesus Christ. I actually did mean to check this out here. I mean, Oitzer just added power and a bit more eye. That's pretty useful. I'm good with this. I like it. I think it's respectable. Overkirk's eye is improving. That's amazing. Oh, were there actually people I wanted to call up? I can't think of any right now. I mean, I guess I could give Oitzer a bit of a deal here. And we win the thing. The division. That's what it's called. Guys, Yonku is getting scary. He's outright terrifying as a pitcher, and I love it. I love it. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Let's just quickly on the regular season. We followed up 100 wins with the 90 wins, which is technically going worse, but then Becker got a batting title, and he's now the all-time hit leader in our league's history. Amazing. He even led the league in steals, which is really fun, too. Man, if this guy had, like, 1% more power... Oh my gosh. Truly amazing. Pancakes is like the son I'll never have. Yonku just fucks him up real good. I love it. I love it. A very close victory, but a victory nonetheless. Franzen retired. He was actually really helpful. No, he wasn't. I'm lying. I always have a memory of players being better than they actually were sometimes. Ooh, they got to Bonet. That's fine. That's fine. Come on, Yonku. Bring it home. Or a Makapane. There we go. This is a very tight series. None of the games are blowouts other than game 1. But that's cool. That's cool. We made it to the League Championship Series for the first time in quite a few years, I think. Poor players. Another amazing start. I love it. Yep. 2-0 against the Draculae. Now we're up 3 games to none. Low tack, can you bring it home? You cannot. Another Kenyanku got lit up. Uh-oh. Not Hubertus Bumgarner. I actually remember picking him. He was a special guy. I mostly got him for the name, though. Which is admittedly an all-time name. Okay. Whew. Another tight series. Again, only one real blowout, which is actually against us this time. Poor Yonku just imploded. Oh, looks like bad defense really victimized him here. Especially from 12 minutes. He's supposed to be an incredible shortstop, so that's disappointing. Is Prague v Cardiff for all the marbles, or at least most of the marbles. I don't really know how many marbles there are, to be honest with you. Oh, let's quickly do some international scouting. Invite. One thing I'd like for them to do in the future that I think makes it a little bit more interactive and fun. I don't want to know anything about them until you scout them at least once. I think that gives you an incentive to scout lots of different players, unless you just scout the best ones, and that can be a little bit disappointing. It is what it is. We're gonna quickly jump to here. I just invited a bunch of people. Why are you being weird, game? There we go. Run that beautiful practice. Alright. A game 1 defeat. Very, very close, though. Uh-oh. The offense is drying up, guys. No bueno. Oh, no. Please. Okay. Okay. How are the playoffs going? I mean, Pancakes is doing his job, but he is only one man. Yeah, the issue is we've only got 2 above average hitters plus Eisner, and that's not going to be enough. So hopefully, better days are around the corner. I will absolutely take Malherbe back and bench Aguilar. Oh, that's right, I can't do that, can I? That's fine. Amakapane gets it done. Alright, we're back in it, guys. We're back in it. I know he is. Stop it, game. Stop trapping me. I know he is. Stop. You know what? Can I put him on a rehab assignment, or is it too late for that? I think it's too late. Guys, this has been one hell of a comeback. Can we make this the most magical season in Metropolitan's history? It's all up to Ludovic Bonet. Oh my god, we did it! Oh, wow. Wow. We won 4 straight after falling 3 games behind to win our 3rd World Series title. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And of course, Pancakes gets all the rewards. He should. He should. Okay, fine, you win. There, he's finally been promoted. Wow. That was one hell of a World Series. That would have been bonkers as hell to watch. That would have been a lot of fun. That was great. I love it. Okay. People are retiring. Mostly players we don't care too much about, to be honest with you. Greshik finished 10th, or what is it, 8th? Charonce isn't moving yet, but he will. He will, guys. Just give him some time. Okay, first of all, we won the World Series. So this season is a huge success. Let's talk about what made that success possible. Obviously, it begins with Pancakes. Unlike the Oakland A's series, where we don't have that elite player that takes over games, Pancakes is that guy for us. And I hesitate to mention this, I still think there's more here. This is a guy who could take everything he's already accomplished and then start hitting 25 homers a year. I truly believe that power is in him. He's phenomenal in every stretch of the imagination. This is our first Hall of Famer. I feel pretty confident saying that already. And we've got him locked up for the foreseeable future. I think this is a tremendous boon for the Prague franchise, and I look forward to seeing what we'll do here. He's also brilliant defensively, which is like a lovely bonus. He might get another Gold Glove. But let's not hide the fact that Huey Bird is a lunatic. I literally cannot fathom how good he is at hitting. Like, the defense is fine. I love the defense. He's a perfectly fine defensive player that really adds to our club. But this is insane from a catcher. And you're going to cost me a lot of fucking money, my guy. We might start asking the question, is Huey Bird such a good catcher that we need to keep him forever and ever? I don't know the answer to that. I don't. But what he's provided so far indicates he is an elite player capable of great things. Gunther's getting slightly disappointing. It's not because he's a bad player. He's actually a very good one. But when you pay this much money, you expect, I guess, Gunther actually has been really good. I suppose I shouldn't be like yelling at him or even being annoyed by him, because he does play all the outfield positions quite well. He hits well. He's very, very good. I'd like a little more from Pablo Gonzalez, but I'm not upset if he doesn't give us more. His job is to get on base and make the rest of this work, and that's exactly what he does. Eisner is good. I mean, this is literally what he did last season with slightly more power. Maybe the league itself was a tiny bit better, so the FPS Plus looks about the same. Above average defense and league average offense is what we're expecting from him, and I think we got that. For a reasonable sum, to be sure. I don't know what to make of Malherbe yet. He had a pretty solid rookie year, but he kept getting hurt. And I don't know if he is the future at center field. He could be, though. And so I'm more than willing to give him a chance to earn that job again in spring training. Was Corbleu worth it? Kind of. The man hit 19 homers, which is more than anyone else on the club. He's not so worth it that I'm going to bring him back unless he wants a significant... Like, if he wants $6 million a year, that's not going to happen. Even $5 million a year, I think, is too much. I don't think he's worth it. So we'll have to find a new guy there. Holtgren also turned out to be a pretty useful player. I think he was instrumental in us being so successful. I think Olivier Rodriguez, we just need to give him the ball. We need to let him play and let him prove that he can't handle it. 12-minute did 12-minute things. I mean, it's hard to bet on his upside when the only thing he offers is defense. And he's not even that elite at defense either. I do think that Oitzer is going to be getting shortstop next year. That's happening. Almost without question. Let's talk about the pitching staff, because I think this is truly where we took it to another level. Yanku going from a mid-tier pitcher to one of the best in the game is something I did not anticipate, but I'm incredibly elated that it happened. We literally think he has 80 potential now. Wait, why does it say 80 here? What? Oh, as a reliever. Okay. As a reliever. Got it. And it all came because this spring training, he added another pitch to his arsenal. And it's actually been a good pitch. So this is an incredible season from an incredible pitcher. And if there's anyone in the pitching staff, I would say you're why we won the World Series. It's probably you. Man, Amakapane just keeps turning in quality seasons. He is overpaid. I don't think it's possible to say that he isn't overpaid relative to what you'd expect from somebody making more money than pretty much any other starting pitcher. But he eats innings. He rarely, if ever, gets hurt, and he's always been a top-tier pitcher. Am I going to re-sign him at the end of his contract? Probably not. I don't think that's a sensible use of our resources. But we'll see what he wants when we get there. Bonet turned in a classic season. I do want to caution us getting too excited about this. Although his BABIP wasn't that far off. We've got really good leadership on this team too, which is pretty cool. Lotak was fine. He actually took a bit of a step back in his peripherals because he started walking people a lot more. But other than that, I do think Lotak is a fine starting pitcher. Akelkeen is equally good. Maybe a hair backwards because of the walks, but that's fine. We got a good season out of the bullpen, but not a great one. Given the raw talent that we have in this bullpen, I expected to see dominance, and we didn't get it. Which is a bit disappointing, but it's also kind of a whatever kind of thing. Let us not forget the injured. Who actually ended up being nobody but Correa at the end of the season. That's pretty funny. Everyone else is healthy and came back strong. So, yeah, this was an amazing season. And it's not entirely because of Pancakes, but it's mostly because Pancakes is just that good. He's already like the elite of the elite, and we have a really good supporting cast that keeps him relevant. I think Huey Bird is probably the one player I can't figure out. I mean, he's putting up MVP level numbers, and his profile just doesn't suggest he's an MVP level catcher. It suggests he's roughly league average or above. So I don't know whether he's gotten crazy lucky or what. If he produces at anywhere near this level next season, I have to re-sign him. I have to keep him long term, which is going to make some other things shift around. I can't not do it. If he gives us 3 consecutive years of elite offensive performance, then there's no reason not to keep him. For a chance to get, well, elite offensive performance. By the way, he's also a brilliant defender. Next season is really interesting. I'm really curious to see how Oyster does. Because it's going to be his job at shortstop. I can't keep taking... Like, your only job is to be the greatest shortstop defensively that's ever played the game. For the amount of hype you have here, you weren't good enough. We look at your advanced fielding stats. You're doing okay, my dude, but you're not an elite defender. And that's what I need from you in order to make up for the fact that your bat isn't anemic. Because anemic suggests you have low blood. You have no blood. You are a fucking skeleton in terms of offense. So it's probably Oyster's show from day one. We gotta do something about Duclaw as well. Maybe just put him on the 40-man, let him keep developing. Maybe promote him to the big leagues, because he does have elite power potential, which we don't have at the moment. But that's all for next season. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. And until next time, this has been Outguardian. Thank you for watching. And I bid you good day.